Welcome back to Parnasa Insights on the Parsha. We'd like to welcome all of our listeners, including our Torah Anytime listeners around the world, Parshat Shemot. So it's a funny thing. I know personally, whenever it comes to the story of the galus in Mitzrayim, the tziyas Mitzrayim, it's so hard to be able to get out of my mind, and I'm sure for you as well, these pictures that we seem to build up from our early years of, what did Moshe Rabbeinu look like? What did the story of Mitzrayim, Yetzias Mitzrayim look like? And one of these ideas is just, how old was Moshe Rabbeinu when this whole story was taking place? When he came down to Mitzrayim and he said, "Let my people go." So when we look at the Psukim, we see it's actually in Parshat Shemot that tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu was 80 years old. 80 years old. Imagine Moshe Rabbeinu being there at the burning bush, 80 years old. And the reason why it's so important is because if you think about that, Moshe Rabbeinu had lived his life, even a full life, until it came to this moment where Hashem revealed himself to him. The Medrash speaks about what happened to Moshe Rabbeinu, from the time that he ran away from Mitzrayim, being some type of a king of some tribe, how many years he did that. And the truth is, it wasn't just Moshe Rabbeinu. Right? If you look at the life of some of our other great leaders, right? Think about Yaakov. Right? The Torah tells us, right, that Hashem revealed himself when he had that dream, right, and spoke to him, right, and said, "I am your God," right, the God of Avraham and Yitzchak. How old was Yaakov? Was he Yeshiva Bacher? No, he was also more advanced in life. Also, when it comes to Yosef, right? If you think, I always think when we go through the parashas we just read of Yosef @Tzaddik, right? How many years he spent, right, in prison, right? He became king when he was 30. Right? We're talking about a long time, 12 years. What that was, a period of 12 years of his life. And it's such an important message because I know for myself in conversations I have, right, with people when it comes to their jobs, when it comes to their careers, right, the people are looking to be able to get to that goal, where they want to be able to reach that position, right, the dream job where they really feel like they're using their koiches, they really feel like they're using their talents, they feel like they're working in a job that has the healthy balance, the healthy work environment. And so many people, they're just not there. And they're not there, and it's been 1 year, and it's been 2 years, and it's been 3 years. Sometimes it's been 5 years. I think the message that we can walk away from our Parshat Shemot, right, is that when it came to Moshe Rabbeinu reached this period where he was given the role, his shlichus, where he became Moshe Rabbeinu. He was 80 years old. He went through 80 years of his life. And especially in our generation, right, where everything's about, boot camp and accelerated programs and do everything in 5 minutes and 10 minutes and 30 days and 60 days. What, you spent a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? To recognize that the path to greatness takes time. We have to recognize that we need to have patience with the process of life. We need to have patience with ourselves. And we can ask ourselves, what is it that Moshe Rabbeinu did during all of this time? It's fascinating. The Medrash tells us about Moshe Rabbeinu. It says this similar thing about David HaMelech, that the attribute that HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw in each one of them, saw in Moshe Rabbeinu, the Goy Yisrael, saw in David HaMelech, Mashiach Yisrael, was both of them had to do with sheep. That Hashem saw that when they were doing their job, working as shepherds, right, that they did their jobs with great sensitivity. Right, we know the Medrash tells us about Moshe Rabbeinu that he saw the sheep run off, right, and he ran after the sheep to be able to take care of it and to be able to give it water. And the Medrash speaks about David HaMelech as well, that he used to take the sheep out, that he was very careful and very meticulous in the way that he did it. And what we see from our leaders, we see from our Moshe Rabbeinu, we see from David HaMelech, is that what they were doing is they were just doing whatever their jobs were in that moment well. They recognized that if this is what I'm doing, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know that he was going to be revealed to by HaKadosh Baruch Hu and told, right? He even tried to turn down the position. Right? David HaMelech never would have imagined, right? He was the child who was sent, who was despised. All that they were doing was they were saying, if this is the moment that I have in front of me right now, what can I do to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? What can I do to be a real authentic person and focus on what I'm doing and to do it well? And the message that we walk away from right, in this week's parsha, right, besides for the fact that, yes, be patient, is while we're in the process, what we need to be doing, right, is to appreciate each moment, appreciate each opportunity. And when we have a emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we recognize that if this is where I am right now, I'm in this job right now, right, I'm stuck with this boss right now, I'm working with these people right now, I may have visions of where I want to get to, but the way that I get there and the way to come to that greatness is by focusing on the present and doing it to the best of our ability. Have a good Shabbos.